Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Halftime Podcast. For the first time in a while, we're back with the usual suspects.
Come on.
Come
Yes.
on,
Right.
Another week, another game week review, and what an absolute torrid one for some of us boys there. What a good one for some of us as well. Half good, half bad. But
Not even half.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
we're all
United
in,
suck.
Yeah, United and Spurs. But you know, we'll get to that. But yeah, no. If you want to drop any follows on the socials, they'll be linked down below. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, first topic of this here podcast: Chelsea in the mud. 2 points from 4 games, slipping into 7th. Played against Arsenal.
7th.
Yeah.
And it's
it's close, isn't it? But they are.
Yeah, and
it is close. But like you said, I think the bigger picture thing here is the fact that in their last 4 Premier League games, they have indeed picked up 2 points.
Yeah, that's gone under the radar, I feel like.
Oh, massively.
I didn't even realise that.
Because he started so well across all competition.
Well, they hadn't lost until the last 2.
So
They lost 2 on the bounce.
They drew at Brentford. They drew with United. Got battered by Brighton. Obviously lost today. So, you know, yeah, they played Arsenal, they played United, but to have 2 points out of a possible 12, it's not great.
They haven't looked good as well as the thing.
Yeah, Champions League
even
winning
against
squad as well.
Even against us, when they were on the front foot, they weren't good.
Look, Chelsea haven't looked good from day dot.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's what we said from the
obviously,
start.
yeah. Under Potter, I'm talking like under Potter's reign, considering people are like, oh, he hasn't lost in all competitions, and now it's like, well, he's lost 2 in the bounce, and they're still looking shit. Yeah, I don't think at that point it's necessarily the manager and the tactics. Their attacking options aren't good enough. Aubameyang's not good enough. Havertz ain't good enough. Mount ain't good enough. I'm sorry, Cal. Who else was on today? Broja doesn't. It don't look bad, but again, it's not.
You cannot tell me those
level,
3 players are not good enough and then say Broja's okay.
No, I'm saying he's not. No, in terms of when he comes on, he's an okay. He does. He looked better than Aubameyang.
He looked better than
but didn't Aubameyang have like 8 touches?
Exactly.
8 touches in 64
so
minutes.
like he looks like the more threatening one of the 2. But again, he's not Chelsea level, I don't think. And who else started up front?
I don't think any of them.
Sterling's been fucking awful for them.
I don't think any of them are.
Come on.
I don't think any of them are Chelsea level when you see what they've done over the past 10 years. Like Sterling should be, but he's playing like he wouldn't even walk into Brentford's team at the moment with the way that he's playing. So
Sterling needs 15 chances a game.
Yeah,
I think in regards to Chelsea, they played a 4-back today. Yeah, Potter. It just doesn't seem like he knows what his best system is, what his best players are. I think I don't know about the previous 3 games, but from today's game alone, I think the only players that can walk out of that stadium with their heads held high is Thiago Silva and Dave. As for
the oldest 2 players.
No, but
the oldest 3 players as well, yeah.
Ghosted, all of them.
I mean,
Kai Havertz, mate.
We mentioned it when we watched it. Like, if your 2 best players on the pitch have a combined age of 104, something's gone fucking wrong. And I think the system changes drastically. Obviously, with Reece James being such a dependable part of that 5-back system, that when Dave has to slot in at right fullback and have like a fucking unbelievable game,
he had a good game,
and still lose.
We saw it last year when Reece James was out. Chelsea were awful.
He was their top scorer for however long.
When they don't have Reece James and Chilwell, I think
they do have
even like
injuries.
So if we list the Chelsea players today that ghosted, right? Kai Havertz ghosted. Cucurella just cuddling Xhaka for fun, right? You had Jorginho, who I think I probably saw on the ball about 3 times in 90 minutes.
I forgot fucking Ruben Loftus-Cheek was on the pitch half the time.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
He actually have a bad game.
He tried, bless him, but he couldn't control his legs.
I think, I know we started this off as like talking about this. Let's talk about Chelsea, but in regards to like the game, I think today's game was the prime example of why Arteta wasn't too overly keen on keeping Aubameyang and was overly keen on bringing in someone like Jesus. You look at the difference that the 2 strikers for either team had on the pitch today. It was miles apart. It was incredible.
I said this when Aubameyang came. Like I was like, what are they doing? We've seen
it's a bit underwhelming.
Arsenal.
Wasn't it?
Like, And everyone's like, nah, everyone forgot how good of a striker he was. Like, look at his record the past few years. Look at what he was at the end of Arsenal, and he's insane.
The thing is, when Aubameyang's in form, like he can be a world class kind of striker.
He was in form 5 years ago, though.
18 months ago.
Yeah,
before he signed that contract.
He's been going to too many shisha bars
or you put him in the donkey league over in Spain, and he excels, right?
Yeah, he's not looking good in the Prem at all.
They signed Sterling and Aubameyang, who everyone was like, yeah, they're here to score goals. They're not going to score goals. They're not.
I personally think Sterling was a good signing. I know.
Yeah, it made sense.
He probably hasn't. Well, he hasn't lived up to expectations. But I mean, for the majority of the season, I say Sterling's been one of the kind of the bright sparks to a certain extent.
Don't get me wrong. Look, we're 13 games into the season, but and the expectation is high just based on the level of player that these players are. But they're new players going to a brand new team and now having to adapt to a brand new manager. You can't be expecting. Again, it's a big game, so you want to see performance. But I think let's say this season, you can't be saying, well, Sterling should have at least 10 goals or 10 goal contributions or whatever.
No, nobody's putting that level of like City expectations on him.
Yeah,
because he's lost all of City's players and they've been replaced. When he looks behind him and he sees Jorginho and fucking Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I think he must sit there and go, no, please. Like, but he should still be doing better than what he.
Yeah. Oh no. 100%.
I think people genuinely thought that he would score not as many goals, but he would score a lot of goals at Chelsea, and it just never was going to happen. We all know how wasteful he is, and at Chelsea you're not going to get as many chances. I don't know, I didn't really. I mean, that's why loads of us, I know Sip did, someone else did. I think we all could have put him as flop of the season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And they were gagging for that's why. I mean, Bowley wanted Ronaldo. They need a goal scorer, and they brought Aubameyang in.
Oh, mate, they'll sign someone in January. No doubt.
So I mean, they need a striker. But
even
today,
don't sign Ivan Toney.
If they had a different striker, if they had Haaland today, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Mason Mount's
wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
Their tactic
Mason
today
Mount is
was hump it long to Sterling, pray he runs in behind.
I have never seen a team look up top. They see 5'6" Raheem Sterling. They think, I know what I'll do. I'll ping a 45-yarder to him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Arsenal's
Sterling, who's being marked by Saliba.
Saliba, 6 foot. Ben White, 6 foot. Gabriel, donkey, but 6 foot. Right?
Oh, I ain't having that.
All three of them.
No donkey.
He is a donkey most of the time. Yes, he is.
When you called it for his head about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's
Chaz football, man.
I said Gabriel has mistakes in him.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain you are. Or at least asking for him to be replaced in January.
I would have him replaced.
Donkey.
I'll get right.
His words were, if anything that needs changing in this Arsenal squad, it's that player first.
The word donkey must have been used at least once.
With all due respect, I watch Spurs, and twice a game when I watch Spurs, I call Harry Kane a donkey, but he's the best fucking striker in the world near enough.
Clip it, that's all I need. That's it. We hooked him in, and I knew the Kane compliment was coming.
That's 1-0. Good goal, Kieran Sippel.
That's on TikTok right there.
Yeah, I mean, like Chelsea, they just looked fucking dreadful. There was nothing. They're at home. It's a big game. It's a London derby. Their players should be fired up. They should be ready, and they look shit.
They don't look like
they don't look threatening. You've won there 3 years straight, and you.
Yeah.
Mate, like I said, I said it like 2 seconds ago. Mason Mount is pony.
Yeah, you called him wank actually.
I agree.
Mate, I'm calling him pony now. He's pony wank.
That's the thing. Like I know we've said it time and time again, but if Maddison doesn't get that call up, he's got to be thinking, what more can I fucking do? Like, it's just ridiculous.
At what point does Mason Mount have to step up? Like, he's not young player. He's still young, obviously, but he's not.
He's not a youngster coming through a derby anymore.
They literally think he's Lampard. They think he's Lampard, and he's just never, ever.
We had this conversation before. Nobody is coming close to producing what Lampard did in the role that he played in the team that he played in. Mount has not got Drogba around him, Ballack, Essien,
or even the technical ability.
Yeah, I got half of it, mate. I've just looked because I was curious.
Even if you gave him Lampard's ability, he hasn't got the team around.
No,
I was curious because I know he hasn't done a lot this season, goals, assist wise. I just looked. He got 2 against Villa, and 2 assists versus Wolves.
And Villa walked Chelsea. They were.
Is that all he's got, Jim?
That's all he's got in the Prem.
Yeah, that's all he's got. Yet you got players like
2 games.
I'm trying to think of more examples apart from just fucking Arsenal players.
What are you going to say, Jesus?
No. You got players like
Jacob Ramsey.
Just for the purpose of this, you got players like Saka, who has the numbers but gets berated more than Mason Mount does. Is it true or false?
Yeah.
2 goals versus Villa, 2 assists versus Wolves. That's it.
I'll tell you what, Chaz. I'll tell you what. I'll give you that.
Dives a lot.
I think Saka only gets the berated, as you say, because he's been labelled as Arsenal fans as like fucking the next Lionel Messi.
Mason Mount hasn't.
Yeah.
How? You support fucking Man United and you label him as that?
What? Leave money Mace out of it. We're talking about Saka.
But look, Chelsea were shit today. Chelsea were bad today. But I mean, fucking gooners, ain't it?
Go on.
On the flip side, Arsenal.
Here we go.
As you've sort of added into the topics, they
just
keep.
In my opinion,
they keep proving everyone wrong. We're saying they're.
Played the 2 better teams in the league yet, though.
Yeah,
so,
100%. But like it's gone from they haven't played anyone good to going through them, coming out the other end with only a loss to Man United. City, of course, that's probably a loss. That I'm excited to see the game, but I can only see City personally. But again, like Arsenal keep proving people wrong and exceeding expectations.
If you said like you say that to me, right, and I feel like maybe Copley will see where I'm coming from this. Yeah, is I wouldn't feel more confident with City's back line than Arsenal's back line.
I would feel more confident in a lot of teams' back line over City's.
So
that's fair.
Like as great as City are going forward, we said it before. They aim to outscore their opponents, and half the time that they do. My thing is that I said to the boys earlier. I said that Man City have played 2 of the top 6 this season. Arsenal have played 2 of the big 6 this season. Arsenal, because obviously Newcastle are now in there. Fair play. You might be getting 75 from me. And on the other hand, Arsenal have played all of them apart from Man City.
Fake oppose.
I played all of them apart from Man City. So I said it maybe like a month ago as well, saying that everyone's saying that Arsenal had this easy start, but just because City are City doesn't mean that they haven't had this easy start as well. I kind of feel like the whole easy start narrative is now being swept away.
That can't be used anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then it was, they've got a difficult October coming up. They've got a really difficult October coming up, and we come to the end of October and we're still sitting top, and we've got through it. I mean, the Southampton game we looked knackered, but we've got through it pretty well, in my opinion. We lost 1 game and drawn 1 game this season, the PSV game. I'm just trying to figure out what the next excuse is from opposition fans, because all I'm seeing is great stuff right now.
You ain't got to wait too long. I've got one. You did have an early start, and that's what built your confidence.
Yeah. Not an excuse, though. That's just good.
There it is.
I think that's just football fans being football fans, isn't it?
Camera.
Of course, this is what this podcast is all about. It's all about football fans.
No, of course. But I think we've all sat here, even us United fans have reluctantly said it. Arsenal probably playing some of, if not the best football in the league right now. And obviously, your league position is evidently showing that. But again, I think we've said it last week and probably the week before. I think it'll be very interesting if you don't make any big signings in January, how far your depth will go if you were to get potentially an injury or just shattered when you get to the later Europa League.
Party ACL away from a relegation battle.
Wait, Chaz, wasn't you that sent in that stat like wins and losses with Party in and out of the team?
79% win ratio or 44% without him.
Yeah.
I'm quite a firm believer of you sort the core of your team out and then you kind of work around it. Right? And then you've got Saliba at the back, you've got Partey in the 6, and then you've got Jesus up front. And
That's
I mean,
fine.
that spine have been fucking incredible this season. They really. I mean, Thomas Partey so far this season has just been mind-blowingly good. Saliba's playing with just stupid amount of confidence, and then you've got Jesus up top. All I'm saying is Jesus is now getting berated for not scoring, right? But
yeah, I was going to say
if he starts scoring and I was an opposition team, I'd be worried.
Yeah,
I'd be really worried.
Literally raps.
One thing, sorry, I just want to say, do you feel like the World Cup break comes at a bad time for you in terms of momentum and stuff? Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like, or are you
no.
more
I think
happy with it because
I
obviously
think
some of
this
your players will
team.
get a rest?
I think the team's proved that momentum maybe doesn't even matter too much. You know, we lost to United, we go win 8 on a row. We draw with Southampton, we win the next 3. That include. I know Chelsea aren't playing great, but it includes an away fixture to Chelsea.
Yeah, which is always a tough place to go.
So no, I don't think it does stop momentum because I don't really think momentum is playing a majorly key part in it. I just genuinely think that Arteta has got most of the players in that he wants, and Arsenal are just genuinely a very good team playing very good football that know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Arteta have got them very, very well drilled.
Some team talks.
Don't we?
Just fucking go, guys.
Be an onion.
And I think
I told you before, be an onion. Have layers, guys.
No,
Let's fucking go.
I think it just proves. I think it just proves that some people, some managers do deserve time. I mean, you look start of last year or whatever it was, or the season before, we went through like 8 or 9 fixtures where we picked up like 2 or 3 points or something like that. And you look, he's been given time, he's been given a couple of transfer windows, and you can really see his plan starting to come to fruition. It's impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, from a sorry to cut you off there, Brick. I think that kind of confidence that the Arsenal board have put into Arteta, I would love other teams like actually take a leaf out. We see so often like managers come like 6 months in and then they're gone.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea being the prime candidate for that.
No, I think an interesting one is going to be United to see how because if United go through a sticky period, what's it going to be? Is it going to be like we believe in Ten Hag, or is it going to be like?
Well, to be fair, luckily United have been quite reluctant in sacking him. Obviously, Oli kept his job for 3 years. Jose Mourinho kept it for what, 2 years? Was it?
3 years.
But the thing is with United, every time a manager goes from United, there has been clear as day evidence to where it's not so much a manager's fault. It's the players.
It's the attitude. It's the attitude
players
of the players.
The attitude.
A lack of professionalism.
I know we joke about like Ollie ball and that, and it was fucking horrendous at times to sit there and watch United, but there was still an argument for it. It's the players. It's the players that use. I mean, how many managers has Sancho been under? 4,
3 or 4.
3.
Yeah, so 3 managers without Carrick. Yeah, you got players like that are still in the squad and still in the system, and people like Fred, and realistically, all of these could have been gone with the first manager, and you could be in a completely different spot right now without having to cycle through managers.
I think
you could have James Garner though.
But, I mean, just before we get into the what happened today United game, I think with Arsenal, obviously we had issues with the owners. Yeah, we were very much in the same stance as United fans are now with the Glazers. But it seems like the owners have slowly started to turn it around, and we didn't invest at all in the squad last year, not one bit. But obviously the Cronkies own. Is it the Rams they own? LA Rams.
Yeah,
and when the owners saw that the Rams had the potential, they spent big bucks. They went and signed like Odell Beckham Jr. and players like that. Like from what I've seen from reports, they are willing to spend money, and they are willing.
Didn't you
to
spend like the most last year?
Yeah. So that's what I mean. They're like, that's what I mean.
You said you didn't invest last year.
Yeah, you just said that. That's spun me out.
No, January.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In January, we didn't bring anyone in. Whereas you look at Spurs, who brought 2 players in, and they cracked on. Oh no, we've invested. But
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So like I mean, like 4 weeks ago, you say to an Arsenal fan, or jokingly, are you title contenders? And it was like, oh, no, I'm not City going to win it. But the simple fact is that we are title contenders, and I do believe that we are title contenders.
I think
the team's good enough.
If you went to me, no Arsenal player, no City player gets injured, I'd almost, because the odds would be better, I'd put my money on Arsenal.
Yeah, and like,
I'll ask this final question with you, Chaz. Do you think Arsenal win it this year? Honestly.
There's no reason why not.
Aaron, I think we asked you last week, mate.
It is the best chance we've had by a mile since Thierry Henry's wore the shirt the first time. Like
Yeah.
this is
There's so many teams around
since
that
I've watched
in
football.
where you were.
Since I've watched football and been knowledgeable enough to appreciate and understand football, this is the best Arsenal team I've ever seen. Hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. I can't class 2004 as me understanding football. So this is without a shadow of a doubt. It's the best. It's the best team that I've seen. It's the best kind of like togetherness that I've seen, and it's by far. You know, I saw like Wenger towards like the latter stages. Obviously, I had like a long period of time with him, and the best manager I've seen with Arsenal.
When you've got Liverpool in their slump, Spurs are. I mean, I don't know if it's slump or just not.
Spurs
right now. Spurs are Spurs, and then you've got Chelsea just being Chelsea's second managers. We're in Arsenal
Transition.
2-3 years ago where this looks like we've actually got a manager that a lot of people enjoy. So I think this year, next year maybe as well could be the year if you do it is like one of your best. It's one of your best chances since.
As someone that's experienced title racing with City.
It's not fun.
It can change.
It's not fun, mate.
No, it's not fun. They won 5.
I hope you're ready to get 90+ points and win every single game.
It's just the only thing for Arsenal. If you do make some signs as January, it's just injuries aside, because obviously we've mentioned it how many times. City's depth is better, so
it's
crazy.
Aaron, do you think you win it?
I mean, I ain't cashed out yet, baby.
Are you a title contender?
We ain't cashed out
Yes
yet,
or no?
baby.
I think
We asked him it last week, and he was like, no.
I do think that Arsenal have the ability to take it to like the last 5 or 6 games. I really do.
It's this World Cup. This World Cup could fuck. It could fuck City more than Arsenal. It could fuck Arsenal more than City. It could fuck no one. No one knows.
I think it benefits Arsenal.
We could come out the World Cup.
Who they get.
We could come out the World Cup and no key player is injured. It's only a slight fatigue where they can only play 60 to 75 minutes. And it's like a normal season again, just with a World Cup hangover.
Yeah,
and they will strengthen in January, 100%. So I think, definitely 100%.
You get a right back, Chaz. I can't lie. You get a right back. You slip Ben White back into the centre of defence, even though he has done a really good job, apart from against Rashford, poor bloke. But like you get Ben White in the middle with Saliba, and then you get a good right back like that. That back four.
Bring back Tavares.
I mean, say what you want, but a centre back is T3 right backs in the league this season.
Yeah,
I've got a right back if you want one.
No, mate.
No, go to T.
Not a chance.
Just sit on it for a bit. You're all good.
Yeah, just mull it over.
Hey, I'll send this highlight reel over from today.
Yeah.
I reckon
It's a
you'll
vine.
get sold.
I think I'd rather take Trent right now than fucking Emerson.
Oh, you sure?
Speaking
you sure?
Speaking of new managers and being given time, good evening, Unai Emery.
Good evening.
Oh, go on. Before we get into this, right, we must stipulate on behalf of Copley as to not break his mental down, as it is Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah.
Okay, be nice to all of us boys. But there is a huge bounce back tax when your new manager hits the dugout.
Especially when it's Unai Emery of all people.
Unai.
Good evening. No matter what you say, there is a new manager bounce. It exists, and I didn't expect to win, especially with the amount. I know it's not just us that's played this many games. I get it, but the difference of, I know Cal really wants to talk about it later, so I'll let him take the lead. But the difference in when we're pressing from the front, where you saw all versus Newcastle and Tottenham, compared to how we've been playing recent games, I think fatigue plays a massive part of that. But that is a part of it. We don't have a good depth. We do need a few. I mean, Dallow's fucking played every game. I don't even know if Wan-Bissaka's alive right now.
He came back from injury like 10 days ago.
Couldn't tell you if he was breathing. Wouldn't even know.
But the thing is, I don't think Wan-Bissaka's going to be used at all. He might play like a. I think we've got friendlies thing.
Our second right back option is Malacia, who's a left back.
Our second right back option is in the transfer market apparently.
Right, Kieran's got a right back.
Carabao this week.
Kieran's got a right back on the.
You know what?
Actually, anyway, so I'm not too bothered. It is what it is. It's a bit shit.
is Ronaldo been starting recently because like people are injured, or is it?
Yeah, it's not really much option.
Yes, yes and no.
100%.
I wanted to
ask. I linked that tweet earlier. Obviously, like everyone going, no, you need to. Obviously, Ronaldo needs to. Obviously, that's just pure pundits going. You need to give Ronaldo respect. He's played 90 minutes. It's been awful.
Yeah, I was
going to
say,
captain's armband, and it's like.
The start of the season, it's like oh, he's not been playing well pre-season, missed completely, blah blah, all the shit. I'm sure it affects him, the team, whatever. Cool. Now it's like, right, you've done bits okay, like he'll do a little bit okay, but it's not good enough. Like Rashford weren't great from the front in terms of scoring. Whenever he then went out to the left, he'd go and score. But the difference in when we press straight from the first minute compared to when we don't is.
Well, we discussed it before.
I think you missed Bruno.
When you got Ronaldo up top,
well.
when you got Ronaldo up top, you simply don't press like that.
He's much more impactful coming off the bench.
Yeah, imagine you're a Villa team, 75 minutes, and they bring on fucking Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what he should have been.
Heads drop.
But the thing is, you watch him, and like he gets the ball, it could be 35 yards out with 7 players in front of him. He just shoots.
Yeah.
It's like that's just he's like so unproductive when it comes to everything other than.
It's so weird. Obviously, it's difficult talking about a fucking 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo because at the end of the day, he's not going to be fucking running for even 60 minutes, let alone 90.
No,
and as you say,
as
you say, he's played 4 of the last 90, I believe. But the reason I put my name next to this because I saw a thread. I want to get all your opinions on it, right? So obviously with this Ronaldo thing, obviously he walked out of Old Trafford, right? And then obviously was dropped from the first team, dropped out of training for a day, probably suspended or not suspended, but fined wages, whatever. He then comes back. He's then I think he started on the bench, I think he started on the bench, and then in the next game he started. And now, as of today, he captained United. So not even 3 games after he was dropped from the first team, he's now captain. He's the captain of United.
What precedent are you setting?
Exactly. Like, and look,
I don't think it's that deep at all.
But
it's not really. Like we don't have any other option.
You've got to be,
if you want to argue the captain's armband,
yeah.
Fine.
So Ten Hag argued that
still...
I think in his interview before the game, he also said because we want to control the game in the opposition's half. This is what he said before the game. We don't talk about too much what happened in the game. But obviously, you don't want De Gea being the captain for longevity. He would be your option. But if we're going to be in the opposition's half, you don't want De Gea being the captain, right? Casemiro can't even speak English yet, so you're not going to choose him. And then
Muffin.
I don't think you fucking started, but even worse option. I'd rather Casemiro just spouting Brilliant or Portuguese. I think they speak than McTominay. But anyway,
shouting Vamos every time.
De Gea, I personally think De Gea should have won the captain's armband today.
It's a fair shout.
I think Ronaldo's not a captain first thing. He might be a leader. I don't think he's a captain. But it doesn't matter who's got the captain's armband. You look at
armband means nothing.
You look
really.
at Arsenal, right? And the player that instructs the most, shouts the most, speaks the most is the player that was the captain that then refused to wear the captain's armband. It doesn't matter who's got the armband on. Anyone on that pitch can do that role.
Yeah.
I think it's outdated personally. I think you look at Liverpool over the last few years. Henderson's been our captain, but there's role models and there's leaders across the whole.
No, 100%. But if you're looking from a general football fan as such, and you see right, Ronaldo's been done whatever, he's been dropped, and then all of a sudden 3 games later he's captain.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I know what you're saying.
Your captain's meant to be your prime, example of what a good squad player should be doing.
And,
you know what I mean?
And
that's what my issue with it is.
And the argument, like Chad said, to call back on like the De Gea thing is. Like De Gea has shown so much like professionalism, all of that stuff, and he embodies what a captain would be. Whereas Ronaldo, like this is my main issue with Ronaldo is that he still thinks he's 30, 32, 33, prime, like it's still in his prime years. That's the one bugbear that I have is that he just doesn't understand the role that he's got to settle in.
But as an athlete, you can't think otherwise, or there's no point.
Exactly. Let me ask you this question. Yeah, Ronaldo's went to the top because he would not accept being second best to nobody. The only person he's ever had to compete with is the other greatest player to ever kick a football, right, in our era that we'll ever see. Right, no one's ever going to do it like those two ever again. Haaland's got to score 39 goals a season for the next 15 years.
Something like that,
Yeah, something stupid like that. why would he at 37, after the years at Real Madrid being a captain pretty much on his second season, right? He captained United for a little bit prior to going to Madrid. Him and Vidic was swapping in. Yeah, he just captained them a few times beforehand. Why is he this armband thing such a big thing? His attitude, yes. His attitude before that, setting the precedent of, oh, you can walk out and refuse to come on as a sub. We'll fine you 2 weeks' wages. But in 3 weeks, you're going to be leading the team out.
Yeah, no, Bran, absolutely fair point. My issue isn't with the armband as such. Like, anyone can wear the armband, but my issue is that, like, there's got to be a point and there's got to be a time where, yes, Ronaldo, one of the greatest we'll ever see, one of the greatest mankind will see people kicking the football, but he's 37 years old.
You're not that player anymore.
You're literally not that guy. Like, you see his productivity when he comes off the bench to make an impact in comparison to when he's puffing for 90 minutes straight. Like, they're two different levels.
Can I ask what happened from last season to this season then?
I was about to say the thing is,
apart from the pre-season,
he doesn't want to
be. Last season was scoring important goals. This season he's not scoring.
He's fluffing his lines a lot, and he's missing chances.
That's literally the difference.
For a United fan, if you can tell me what has changed since then
he wants to leave.
Yeah, he wants to leave, right? That's the only thing that we've seen.
I've got two issues with the whole.
He's gone from last season playing out his mind, keeping United in competition, scoring the most important goals in European nights, right? Banging in hat tricks against Spurs, scoring absolute wonder goals. Sorry, Tim. Sorry. But all that's changed really is he's missed out a pre-season, and it's come out that he's wanted to leave, and the manager's changed.
He's not happy.
There's nothing fundamentally wrong with him. He hasn't changed. He hasn't just lost ability overnight.
I have two issues with like the whole like Ronaldo thing. I think Ten Hag making him captain. I think as it was said earlier, it from a certain point of view, it kind of makes Ten Hag look a bit weak in the sense that you can do this, you can do that, you can disrespect yourself, you can disrespect me, the team, and whatever.
The fans, the club.
I'm still going to make you captain. Yeah, I don't think that looks great on Ten Hag, but I don't think that's a major issue.
They wouldn't also take with Ronaldo when he was shit in the bed as well.
Also with Ronaldo, and it might just be an agenda or whatever, but whenever I watch him play, even now where he's nowhere near his peak physical performance, he's nowhere near as good as he used to be for obvious reasons. He still walks around and still reacts like he is, like he is fucking God, basically.
This is my point, Chaz, as well. Like that's the thing.
But as I said earlier,
it's just a lack of like understanding of his role.
Yep. And as viewers of the sport, we can see he is not even a shadow of what he has done and provided. But if you're a professional athlete and you're still wanting to compete at the highest level, which again, as Bran said, to get to the level they've been, you don't do that by saying, "Oh, just natural talent." You just don't look anywhere else, but assuming you're already there, kind of thing.
You believe that you're the best.
Yeah, no opportunity. So his brain is probably still 30 years old, but his body is obviously 37.
You realise your clock is ticking. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but that's why he's.
Something needs to happen so he realises it's not going to. And the thing is, the worst thing is, he's probably looking at Messi, who's fucking absolutely tearing it up this year, and going, "What the fuck?" Obviously, I know they're very different teams, but there must be a case of him going like,
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So
the argument I agree with is if he looked at Messi and saw, right, Messi's doing this on an individual level, the most goal contributions like over the last 12 months out of this world. If Ronaldo just switched that and said, he can have the most individual awards this time, I've just got to win the most with my team, and turned into a squad player, I would understand that. But Ronaldo's not. He's never been that player, and I
don't think
never been that player. He's never been a squad player.
I feel as if I don't know if Ronaldo still thinks he can do it, but you can quite easily see that obviously Ten Hag knows that he still can't do it, which is why he doesn't start. I mean, the issue for Man United is that they have no choice but to start him at the moment.
That's the main issue. We don't have another option. It's
like,
Ronaldo, Martial's injured. You start Rashford up front. Every other one's Sancho, Anthony injured. We just brought Garnacho into the team.
How do you play today?
We have so many. Garnacho, it was all right.
I mean, let's
nothing
give
special.
I think
did a few bits nice.
I'd say play Fred in the 10.
We're sitting here talking like, United like
That's the thing. It's 1 week
against stuff like that. Yeah, in the last 8 games they've had 7 clean sheets.
Yeah,
the thing that I noticed today, nothing to do with Ronaldo at all. It was, it reminded me of the Arsenal Southampton game where Arsenal looked fucking shattered, but there was things of United at the start of the season which crept in today, which was the whole point that there was just so much space. There was between defence and midfield. There was so much space, and Aston Villa were free to do however they wanted to do. I think today was just one of those days for United. United can't go through the whole season unbeaten, so they're going to get these results.
It's his first season. Like we said it last week. We had a little split, but from game week 1 and 2 to last week, we'll say this. Yeah, to last week. The difference in that short space of time, 11 games or something, has been phenomenal. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not even halfway through his first year.
100%.
He's probably wants 5, 6, 7 more players in an ideal world, minimum.
And he will get them as well.
Right at the start, before a ball was even kicked, in my opinion, this season is and should be a free hit for United.
Yeah, it's just the way other teams are.
Exactly. The worst part is people are seeing Spurs be a bit Spursy. They're seeing Chelsea be shit, Liverpool be shit. They're thinking, we can get top 4 here. But in reality,
do they know
it would be? You know what? It would be so interesting to see.
At their ankles.
It would be so interesting to see and hear what the expectations from Man United in-house were this season.
What they what they want.
That'd be really interesting, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
From my point of view, this season is a complete free hit for United because Ten Hag clearly has 7 or 8 players that he needs to replace.
Yeah, as you said, don't get me wrong. In the pre-season, I said United still top 4, and I think we can still creep into that. But obviously, I think the base expectations are between 5th and probably 7th. Around that for this United side.
I think 5th would be good for United.
But again, with every other team, how they're performing, as Chaz just mentioned, if we could very easily still creep into that top 4 spot. But
I think it will become very difficult with what the teams do around that. So if Newcastle recruit perfectly in January,
they need to.
The issue is we're not going to. I don't see us signing.
Which I can't see. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where
I
had a chat with Copley earlier, where Copley said that he would take being out of Europe right now if it gives him a pretty solid chance at top 4.
But the thing is that as well, Bran. Yeah.
As much as I agree with that, and I think that is the route United need to go down, it's the teams around them aren't going to give it up that easy.
I disagree with that slightly, but we won't get into it.
Yeah, I think top 4 you could easily make a case for them with how Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool look like. That's what it's up for grabs.
I meant like if you went to me, you don't play any more European football, you get knocked out, so you don't have that as we've seen the exhausting workload on our team, and we focus fully on the league.
Especially with how competitive it is.
Copley, if you win your game in hand 11-0,
we still
you do go above Spurs.
I think with their goal difference will be better.
Yeah, exactly. Win it 11-0, you
that's
go
what
fourth.
I mean. And we do have a fair few injuries right now. Obviously, Varane being.
I mean, who's your next game?
Fulham.
I mean, I said it last week. This is the big period where we've played all the big teams, the big 5: Newcastle, West Ham. It's how do we do against these weaker teams?
Yeah, and so far,
like in the top 6, 7, 8.
You would consider West Ham there or thereabouts. Not this season, obviously, but historically. But look, new manager tax has definitely hit us hard. It is what it is. We'll lick our wounds. We'll carry on for the next game week. Fulham could be another tricky one, but anyway, we won't look too far ahead.
Andrea Pereira's banging a hat trick.
Yeah, 100 emoji. But I mean, moving on, looking for sort of people that are on the up.
Yuri Tielemans, what a fucking strike!
Leicester have actually They've turned it around. I mean, that Danny Ward fella in goal as well. He's actually
looking like an actual keeper.
He's looking like a goalkeeper. Yuri Tielemans has come to play. Maddison, as always.
4 out their last 5. he's kept a clean sheet, and that's with a 0-0 draw against Palace. So it's, I think with Leicester, we've always said they've got like 2 or 3 really good players, and then on paper they've got a decent little squad.
A very good mid to top half table kind of team.
I think right now Tielemans is having a few wonder strikes from outside the box and is rifling in the back of the net.
And apart from that, he's playing very well.
He is, and Maddison's just doing all the things that like he should be doing in a very, very professional way.
Are both their contracts up next year, by the way, by any chance?
Tielemans is.
I think Maddison might have a year left or something. So he'll be going on the cheap if he doesn't re-sign. And also, like, speaking of Maddison as well, Bran, like, if it'll be actually, and I don't know if the rest of the boys agree or disagree, but it'll be criminal if he doesn't go to the World Cup. Like, that'll be a prime example of Gareth Southgate picking on merit and not picking on
there is
people who are doing...
with the injuries that the England national team will face with Walker, James, and Chilwell. Like, Chilwell's out, definitely. Reece James says a possibility he could be back in time.
He might go, but probably not start to the knockouts.
Yeah. So there's 2 of our 18 fullbacks out. There is absolutely no chance Southgate can look at both Mount and Maddison. If he makes a case for Mount, he's got to take both.
Yeah,
if he only takes Mount and Maddison is stuck at home, I will honestly I'll emigrate.
Have England announced their like 50
second? I don't think they're doing that.
Foden as well. Foden's not. He's not been anywhere near.
Goes.
Are you tripping?
Foden goes.
Foden's been fucking
unreal.
He's been
fucking class this season.
I
understand.
He had the first 6 games. He wasn't great.
But that's what I mean. The consistency of that's what I'm on about.
The 6 weeks after.
But you're not looking for fantastic form over 15 games. You look like at the end of the day. On their day, Foden can probably win us a game from England.
Foden can change a game just by
win us a
being on
game.
the pitch.
Yeah, of course. But like, also, I feel like.
Oh no! I was just arguing with Brick's point there. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, but no, like that. But that's the thing.
We're all arguing against Brick for saying Foden's been poo.
Oh.
No,
Mason Mount shouldn't be anywhere
I'm just saying Maddison's been more consistent.
Mason Mount shouldn't be anywhere near that starting 11. Let's put it that way.
No, he shouldn't be.
I agree.
He should be on ropes for even going. To be honest, he does go because Southgate loves him, but he's on ropes in my opinion.
Can I bring? I know it's not necessarily Leicester, but it's another team that were on the up, and now we're all sitting saying they're really not that good. No, Brentford with Tony. Is Tony still hitting form to the point where he needs to be on that plane?
He won't be on the plane.
He bets on himself.
He's under investigation right now. Yeah, but it's players like that where we're all making a case for them 3-4 weeks ago, saying "fucking hell," like Southgate's got some thinking to do.
Yeah,
and Foden's definitely going. You know that. Mount is now a question mark for all of us whether he makes that stop.
He'll go because Southgate loves him, but I don't think he should. And also, Tony, just use a VPN, brother, please. Just if you're gonna gamble, just use a VPN. Use your Nan's account or something.
Just go boys for 0% off any VPN.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
NordVPN.
And if you are a VPN and you want
NordVPN, if you want to access American Netflix,
yeah, absolutely.
You can watch the best.
You could just
like
too soon, Cal.
Sooner to the World Cup start day, we'll definitely do a podcast about the World Cup and what our expectations.
Did you say we're not doing like a 50-man squad thing like Spain have just done?
No, we won't. No.
So we're just going to announce the squad and that's it.
It get released in like?
It was meant to get released last.
The 50-man 5-man squad's been announced, but it's not been announced.
It's not been.
Southgate's kept it.
There's no list.
Yeah.
I know
Danny Welbeck's in it.
Look, we ain't got 55 fucking players, mate. So it was it's
November the 13th. This time next week, we have to submit our 26-man squad.
November 13th. What day is that?
Sunday.
This time next week.
Yeah, it's my birthday. You fucking all your ship friends.
It's your birthday.
Bastards.
Quickly.
People were interrupting me, Bran. I knew it was your birthday. I've got it in my calendar.
Shut up.
Sidetracked from the World Cup. Leicester, I'm pretty sure on their last 4 or 5 games have only lost to City. I think
they've won the 3
that was a De Bruyne, just De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So they from where they were in 20th, 19th, I think they're up to
Yeah.
14th,
15th,
But
I think they are.
yeah, they're a bit of a resurgence. Apparently, from what I've
Yeah.
seen, they're playing some somewhat okay football.
Danny Ward is actually a keeper.
Apparently
He's
so.
actually a keeper now.
He's
Yeah.
Plugged
not.
his controller in and he's always doing all right.
Yeah.
He's not an
But going
He's got
from-
experiment. He is a
DS4
keeper.
Windows, no Bluetooth flag anymore.
Got new batteries.
Going from talking about teams of the up, going on the complete flip side. After we sat here 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, singing praises for Bournemouth, they have proceeded to slip back down to 17th. And
they still go down. They go down still. We're Southampton.
Absolute limbs from Leeds, though. To be fair, like absolute limbs.
That whole.
Yeah, but
let me have a
I
quick
agree
look.
with that on the whole.
Bournemouth could win a game, and again, if things go certain ways, they could jump to 11th.
Yeah.
So that whole thing, we could sit here every week and be like, "This team's good."
Well, yes. But what I was going to say, they might have done that, but they are only 6 points behind Liverpool. So
yeah, and also speaking of Liverpool, they've just hit the robbery of the century. Just now, to be honest,
definitely
2-1 against Spurs. Nah, like honestly, like they did not look like a side that deserved to take that 3 points away at all. Sip,
right.
I'll let you take point on this one. But and
right,
Jim,
I'm
Jim
going to ban you from talking about Tottenham because you always go to the absolute extreme to the point that your point, which is a good point, is just not agreeable. But
look, it's a bit of hyperbole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's robbed.
It's one of the ones that I was like, bar the first 25 minutes, we actually look like a good fucking side. Like everything actually clicked. Do you know what I mean? I've like you saw like Basuma had his best game for us so far. Like
his only good game for you so far.
He's been playing around recently, but our midfield actually sort of controlled the game. Like unfortunately, we still need our fullbacks to be doing more. But it's one of the ones we lost. I was like, but it's one of the ones like I think we're going to be all right. Do you know what I mean? Like with Kulusevski back now. It's just like it's not. We're gonna be all right, I think, and obviously he's been for the last few weeks.
He came on and did change it. Like he came on and just offered an outlet that you just didn't have. You didn't have someone who wanted to pick the ball up on the edge of the box and turn.
Yeah, I mean, and it's this after 83 seconds. Like,
whenever he cuts back and whips it like across back post, it's always
that's the thing. Scary.
Obviously, today's lineup was a bit of a rough one, but that's just injuries. But now, if we do that same lineup and just swap Perisic for Sessegnon and put Kulusevski up with Kane, like that could work. Like, so we have Perisic left wing back.
I don't know.
Brick, I know injuries were a thing, right? And Brick said that you've just seen the robbery of the century. But any team that fields 10 defenders and concedes 2 do not deserve to win.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
it wasn't like that. You can say that, but again, like
the first goal was a well-worked goal, and one was a howler.
And also, there was a clear penalty. I'm sure everyone.
It was a penalty.
It was a pen. It was a pen. And aside from the pen shout, Spurs created a chance after that where they had chances to put the ball away and put the game right away. Like the Bentancur header.
Everyone hit the
there was
Denver.
Never
the Denver.
But that's the thing. Jim was like obviously wanting another goal from Liverpool, and I said if this finished 3-1, that would be the most unreflective scoreline of an actual game that you've seen in a while. Because yes, the scoreline was up, but Liverpool didn't play to that. Like I said, we were just shit for the first 25 minutes and left ourselves with too much to do. But you know, Mo Salah and scoring against Tottenham are just fucking like that.
Going back to the penalty shout, I don't know if you lot have seen it, right? Obviously, yesterday we had the Cancelo penalty and red card, which I think
it's the correct decision.
Was the correct decision. Today we had what we saw today, which was quite clearly a left arm that had been outstretched and pushed.
It weren't like a little one. It weren't like a shot.
It was a
Trent got some ragged today, by the way.
Yeah, right. Just quickly. Yeah. So you think, well, why isn't that a penalty? You know, because you look at the Man City one. It went to VAR for whatever, for confirmation or whatever. The person on the VAR for Man City yesterday was also the person on the VAR for Spurs today.
My 1 point. I don't know.
Wait, Chaz, it didn't go to VAR for the decision yesterday. The ref made the decision.
That's what I was going to say.
It went to VAR for the red card yesterday.
Was the City game, was it given on field?
Yeah, but obviously if it goes to VAR, for the red card, he still needs to check if it's a penalty.
Yeah. 100.
but I think
because
it's given
can
on
only
field.
overturn if it's a
no. I get
penalty.
that. I get that. But if it wasn't, if it wasn't a penalty, the VAR person would have said, "Look, you know, I might be checking for a red card here, but it's not a penalty. That's what it's there for."
Yeah, he may have though. If it wasn't given a penalty in the City game, if he went, "Is this a penalty?" he wouldn't have overturned it because the ref. I'm not saying it's the right thing. It's not the right thing, but it's the only avenue I can.
Yeah,
because sometimes they would. If it was given and they went, "Do you want to overturn this?" They go, "No." But if it wasn't given, they also wouldn't say you need to give that.
It also didn't get checked today.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't get checked. What Stockley Park?
Did it not?
No, it didn't.
I don't think so.
Just be like, I don't know about this one. Looks like there's an
the game didn't stop at all.
They didn't.
They showed us replays, and then by the time it stopped, the
game only stops like if there's like.
I'm sure the commentator said
it did get checked. No, it did get checked, but not like checked where the referee stopped it and waited. Yeah. The VAR said back, no, it's not. They did check it.
Just fucking criminal though. But again, it's just the inconsistency that we're fucking used to. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too much surprise.
It will balance out at some point, and the worst thing is that now you've got to wait for it to balance out.
Yeah.
Like you've got to sit there in the next, and it's just
that's the balance out from the what should have been Romero red card when you equalised against Chelsea. Just let it go. No,
brother. Let it go.
Bad ref, but still a great performance from Liverpool.
Yeah,
By the way, that ref was fucking abysmal. All over the pitch. He was shit.
Yeah, he was awful. I think I called out on the watch.
Go on.
Live on Twitch.
No. I was about to say Mr. Huffington.
I was going to call him Mr. Hairline, but as you were.
Oh god, he's just woken up there. You just jolted him awake.
Me.
Oh hello, it's me.
Mr. Isel Houses.
Yeah.
You are nominated for the Team of the Week picker this week.
Sponsored by Stella Artois. Anyway.
Please drink responsibly.
Other drinks are available.
Yeah.
So,
could do with a Magnum sponsorship.
There we go. So, yeah, I've gone for a standard 4-4-2. There was a lot of goals conceded, and a lot of goals scored. I've gone with Ward in goal. Thank you. I've gone for Ward in goal. It wasn't much to pick from, to be honest. So, I mean, the only two teams to keep a clean sheet were Leicester and Arsenal. So, I've gone for Ward in goal. Trippier and Digne have decided to swap positions for this. So,
feeling free.
Yeah, why have we done that? You've got a left back and a right back, and
I don't pay that much attention to what side of the pitch they are. Shoot me.
We don't pay him enough.
They're in the team, and that's it. Continue, Hairline.
Continue, Hairline.
Digne scored a cracking free kick. Obviously, Jacob Ramsey unfortunately put it in the own net. For him to lose it. Anyway, I'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Gabriel was solid today. Very, very good. Fuck off. He scored a goal, and then obviously Konate was absolutely everywhere. He was my man of the match.
Yeah, he was cracking.
He played very, very well. Won most duels, and was a bit of a menace. And then obviously trips. Great ball for his assist.
For Willock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back four.
Pardon?
So a solid back four.
Yeah, thank you.
I think apart from Gabriel, but go on.
A bit ropey with Gabriel.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He played well.
It should be Saliba in there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Saliba.
I've got
Gabriel scored the goal.
Gabriel scored the goal, so that's why he's. All
right, fair enough. Go on, crack on. I want to see why Tavernier's here.
Tavernier's in here because
Tavernier.
Yeah,
Tavernier. I told you he's French.
Tavernier. No, Tavernier's in here because although Bournemouth threw it, he got 2 assists and a goal. He was playing well, but then Bournemouth did Bournemouth. Obviously Maddison and Tielemans. That's standard. Maddison 2 assists, then Tielemans' goal, and Tielemans apparently didn't watch the highlights. I do apologise, but apparently he had absolute fucking blinder as well. Jacob Ramsey was all over United. I do apologise, Cop player. I don't want to draw you to tears.
All over us, then fair enough.
And then Salah obviously bagging 2 goals, and I've gone with Zaha up front as well.
My Egyptian king.
Bagging a goal and
you've missed one player out. Greenwood.
What's
He should go in.
Sam Greenwood.
Yeah, got a 1 goal, 1 assist, and they won.
Fucking Lord.
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
I could have gone in with but
that's
like
the only person I would have changed.
for
Look.
who?
Zaha.
Yeah.
Zaha got goal and
Zaha
assist, and they won as
Zaha
well.
also got goal and assist, and they won as well.
Did he get the assist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tielemans
absolutely.
comes out.
Event
mean-
manager, Emery.
Good evening.
Obviously,
Good night, everyone. Right.
left the
fair
league.
Yeah.
Left the league in a bad state, and then he's come back with a bang. So that is my team of the week.
You know what, Aaron? I really like that because there's a lot of cause for debate on that one. There could be a few switcheroos. But
I look forward to your TikTok that you do
You're a
this week.
fucking-
Yeah, look forward.
You're a
Look forward
fine
to the
person to
TikTok.
talk brick.
Yeah,
That was a really
absolutely.
good team, Aaron. I really like it. It's
That
a lot
will-
better than
yeah, you know
the
what,
last
team of the
one.
week.
Aaron, thank fuck you didn't put a player in. He got subbed off. Then his team won.
Yeah, but catalyst
Who was that?
for comeback.
Skipped
Anyway,
last
Yeah.
week. Played 45 minutes,
Look,
subbed off, and then Tottenham came back and won.
Doesn't put a
drove-
player
it
that gets
drove-
2 goals and then an assist.
Look, it drove traction to the boys presents on
No, everyone
TikTok
watched that
down
TikTok.
below.
No,
link
it just
down
somehow
below.
got
Zero
involved
idea.
in the algorithm and did better than every other video we've ever posted.
People must have been searching for clueless football takes. And
I don't even know what I put into the hashtags, but anyway, that doesn't matter.
You know what? I want to see the
Idiot.
search. More run skip, and that's what someone would have searched and found that. More run on skip or skip subbed off.
emoji.
More run loves.
But look, interested to see the TikTok, Aaron. Can't wait to see you another fine performance from you on there.
Thanks.
That brings our podcast to a close, boys. Full house, absolutely smashed it out.
Great.
We'll figure out when are we uploading this one, Cal? Is it going to be the Tuesday morning?
No, this will be Monday morning. They'll be able to listen to our lovely voices. Wait, today's Sundays, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Monday.
Sunday. Yeah.
So
We're
Monday
treating
morning.
you to a
Yeah, you can
we're
listen to
treating you to
it
a
on your
Monday
morning
upload.
on your morning commute to work.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Yeah.
like me and I employed, and you
I
can
was
listen to it in
waiting.
bed.
As soon as he said work,
I was like, am I going to make the joke or is he going to make the joke?
I was like, it's way too soon for any of us to make it.
If not, you can just lay in bed doing fuck all and listen to it. That's what I'm going to be doing.
You can also
It's
watch
tiring.
us as well.
Fucking hey.
Also, don't forget to drop a follow. We did hit 50 followers on Twitch for today's stream, so let's go. Affiliate is on the way.
Let's get it.
Make sure you use all of your well-earned cash to subscribe to us once we've gone through that process. If not, are you really a viewer? Are you really do you really want?
Are you one of the boys?
Succeed? Are you one of the boys? Anyway, yeah, that's all from us. Have a wonderful day, morning,
Don't forget
evening,
to follow
afternoon.
all our socials. If you're watching
Where are they,
YouTube,
Copley?
only if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise,
below.
Spotify, you're going to have to go Boys Presents across all of our other medias. Easy peasy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
listen
Faker
on
deserves
Spotify,
more.
you'll-
Peace.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to